Welcome back. Residents of some communities in Niger State are lamenting the poor state of infrastructure in the area. Although rich in the cultivation of root crops, the residents say they lack adequate basic amenities required to make their trade more profitable. They're asking government to address the infrastructure deficit in the area. Our correspondent, Emperor Simon, reports.
This long, dusty road leads to the center of Paikuru local government area, which is situated along the Minasuleja Road, about 20 kilometers away from the state capital. The agricultural potential of this locality is not in doubt, as large expanse of farmlands can be seen even when driving around town. The people pride themselves in large-scale yam production, which also forms a part of their staple. Paikuru also boasts of a major yam market, which the people claim attract patronage from within and outside the country.
Almost 36 local states that we have in Nigeria are coming to this market and buy yam. Some of them are buying the yam to the outside country, some are buying to the Cameroon, to Chad. Here we load them. We experience many things here.
Unfortunately, as significant as this market, there is lack of stalls and other infrastructure support.
What the government could do is to make stalls for them, because you can see we're under the scorching heat of the sun. And this sun too, as we know, with all the enlightenment on ultraviolet rays, not good for the skin, causes sunburn and may give us skin cancer. So when we have stalls, they could place the yams well, and it could be preserved from heat, because such exposure definitely will denature this yam.
In spite of this unpleasant development, the people still attempt to make ends meet, but they would have preferred a better market environment.
The government should know and think on what to do to help the farmers in Paikuru. Because if the roads are good, then people will love to come to this place, at least to get to lift up their goods.
I have marriage here. I have 6 children. All of them, I do their ceremony here. And I built house here. But all the time we need help for the government.
While the Paikuru market suffers this seemingly lack of attention, healthcare is a major challenge here. And even the only school in Yandai, one of the Paikuru communities, is in a state of disrepair.
There are no chairs in the classrooms. Our children sit on the floor, and we have to keep washing their uniforms.
As far as the government is concerned, they have plans towards helping the Paikuru people.
We are trying to collaborate with private investors to see how we can modernize the activities in these 3 markets and any other thing that will make the markets more viable, more friendly, market friendly, and other facilities to be provided by the government and people intend to go into partnership with.
In spite of these challenges bedeviling farmers in Paikuru, they appear determined to keep tilling the soil in order to earn a living and keep hope of better days ahead alive. Emperor Simon, Channels Television News.
The president is promising better times and a great future for Nigerians as they prepare for the Christmas celebrations. In his Christmas message to Christians in the country, President Muhammadu Buhari asked Nigerians to use the opportunity of the season to reflect on the imagery of the humble, symbolic and divine birth of Christ and the message of hope, compassion and reconciliation the season brings. The president also used the opportunity to reflect on the achievements of his administration in the areas of security, economic growth and the fight against corruption. He also promised to ensure the conduct of a free, fair and credible election next year, insisting that his words are his bond. The president says, quote, "My avowed commitment to free, fair, credible and violence-free polls is not a ruse or yet another vain political promise. My word is my bond. It is a sworn declaration on the advancement of Nigeria, the future and safety of our young and unborn generations. Let us tell the world that indeed something good can come out from Nigeria, and it will happen as we all team up to make it happen. End of quote. The president also asked Nigerians to remember many others who cannot be with their families this time as they celebrate Christmas. As the year draws to a close, many Nigerian community organizations in South Africa have been celebrating the outgoing year amid hopes that the incoming one will bring more good to the world. Speaking at one of such events, the president of the Akwa Ibom community encouraged fellow citizens to maximize the benefits of migration to improve their communities back in Nigeria. Our correspondent, our South Africa Bureau Chief, Betty Dibia, reports.
The adults were represented at these celebrations, as were the children, who showed their cultural heritage was not lost on them, thousands of miles from home. The president of the Akwa Ibom Indigenous Organization, Kingsley Boyete, as well as other speakers, made a common plea to fellow citizens.
Together, let us make good use of this enabling environment in this country and in our state of origin back home. Let us maximize the benefit of our migration. Let us make this strategic partnership for our economic development to blossom.
I want to employ everybody, please, let us come together as one. We are one Nigeria. Let us portray the image of Nigeria in South Africa. Whatsoever that we are here has a lot to do in our country back to Nigeria.
And we need to change this narrative that when a Nigerian commits crime, it's okay. It's not okay. Anybody that commits crime has to face the full might of the law. Yes. Whether Nigerians or non-Nigerians.
There was plenty to eat, and a number of outstanding individuals received awards, from most committed family to most dedicated personalities and patrons awards. The chief executive of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Obong Simai Kere's Top Personality of the Year award, was received on his behalf.
No, these awards are empowering at the same time as showing good initiatives or celebrating good initiatives that's happened with people who are willing to put their hands up, get involved on basic transformation in terms of finding and bridging gaps.
This award is very inspirational. It tells me, it confirms the fact that little drops of water make a mighty ocean. You may think that what you're doing is insignificant, but if you're able to affect even one life positively, that's a lot.
Choosing somebody who is not a Nigerian and from Benin, and it shows that the African mentality is now beyond borders, and we are one African, not only just being a Nigerian.
And to end what seemed like a very good evening, the season's greetings rang out.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year! We are in South Africa!
From Pretoria, South Africa, Betty Dibia, Channels Television News.
And to wrap up the show, it's Christmas. From Santa hats to beards and tinsel, photographers take to the streets to capture the Christmas spirit across some cities in Africa. Take a look. That's how we end the program today. Do have yourself a very Merry Christmas. I'm Teniola Shuboali.